Ha ha ha. I have no light. I'm in the dark. I'm totally alone. It's not spooky, but I'm bored. Oh, you heard that hit in the window? Ah, probably it's a zombie trying to get in. Okay, so I am very bored. And the only light you're gonna see is that little kitty thing that I have up there. It's how you call it? It's two little teddy bears. I got this when I was in the hospital, and my kids bought it for me to tell me that one is each kid, my daughter and my son, and that when I look at it to remember that they're by my side. I wish I knew where they were now. Okay, how would you like to hear a story of a horror? This happened to me when I was a kid. Okay, I was like 12 years old, and there was this lady. Oh, don't tell me the light is going off here too. Hey, 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 come on. Um, there was this lady that I dreamed about when I was like 12 years old. I dreamed about her. She was ugly. She was small, and her face looked like a witch. You know the chin part? It was like stretched out like they show on TV, witches. And this lady, when I woke up, she was like standing on her knees, and she was about to bite me. I tried to scream. I couldn't scream. I was like paralyzed. I tried to call my mom, hit the wall, because her bedroom was the next wall. I couldn't do it. Oh my God. And I was so and so scared at 12 years old. When I woke up, I finally fell asleep because she was just standing there and I fell asleep, just staring at her. When I woke up the next morning, I go, Mama, Mama. She tells me, what's wrong? I said, I dream about a witch and she's for real. And my mother said, Girl, that's just a dream. No, it wasn't a dream. I woke up and I saw this witch just kneeling right by my side. My mom says, Come on, girl. She starts laughing. She said, You know what? You better stop watching all those horror flicks that you like to watch. I've been watching horror flicks since I was 7 years old. So I told Ma, it's nothing like that. Okay, time passed by. To make a long story short, time passed by, and one day I hear talking in the kitchen. So I was always how you call it? Always wanted to find out everything. So I get up to check to see who's in the kitchen talking to my mother. I recognized one of them because one of the voices was my mother's friend. So how you call it? But I didn't recognize the new voice. So I went over there to see. And to my surprise, voila, voila, it was the witch. Yes, the same exact face. Everything. Her height, she was smaller than me. So I knew she was very short because she was most likely on her knees, and all you could see was her head. Something like that would have happened to me now. I probably would have punched her face in, but at that time at 12 years old, you're just horrified. So what happened? It's the same lady. She looks at me like she knows what's going on. And I just stood stunned there, just staring at her. And my mother would like put past and give me a punch, like with the elbow, kind of hit me with the elbow, like to change my face, because my mother thought it was that I was staring at her because she was ugly. It wasn't nothing like that. I was staring at her because she was the witch I had dreamed like 3 weeks ago from that time. So my mother's over there, when she leaves, I go, Mom, Mom, that's the witch, that's the witch, that's the one I told you about. And my mother started laughing, saying, My girl, she's not a witch, she's a human being. No, she's a witch. I didn't know, I disliked this lady because my mother tried to convince me she's just a human being, she's just a person, there's nothing wrong with her. So one day I'm waiting for the bus to come and pick me up from school. So, it had like a double door where we were renting. It had a double door. So I opened the first door, and when I'm gonna open the second door, the lady witch was coming in. So she tells me to open. I say, okay, I'm gonna believe Mom. She told me she's just a lady. She's just an ugly lady. So I'm gonna open. When I touched the handle to open the door, pure summer. There was no wind. Her hair just flew up like crazy. It just went like it was a storm out there. I did not open, of course. I ran back inside, of course. And I started closing windows, doors, and everything. And she tells me, "What's the matter? The witch. Her hair blew up. Her hair just went up in the sky." And my mother just burst out laughing. She's like, "You left her out there? I'm not gonna open to that witch, mom." So we had this argument, and later we found out what was going on. The thing is, this lady is she used to mess around with witchcrafts and stuff like that. You know, demony stuff, which I call. Um, for some reason, she thought that my mother was going out with her husband. We didn't even know this lady. We didn't even know her husband. But because of one name, which I'm not going to mention here, it was a cousin of mine. She had passed, and she heard the name of my cousin. They were talking about the good old times, like when they were in school and this and that. My mother, my cousin, it was like all of us, my brother and me. And my mother was telling us about one of her cousins, how they went to school, this and that. And all of a sudden, that lady, just because she heard that name, she thought it was the husband. Oh, but when my mother found out what was going on, my mother went and she found out who the heck her husband was and told her to put a handle on that lady. She was jealous of him with anybody. You couldn't even mention that name because she would say it was her husband you were talking about. Kind of crazy thing. But the thing is that well, I think the husband must have. They say he used to beat her up, so I guess he beat her up when that happened. Because he was apologizing left and right, and he was real pissed off. So I got to the point that since I always had believe in God and everything, I got to the point I said I know that Jesus is gonna save me from this lady. So every time she used to pass, I used to take the tongue out of her, and she would give me like that mean look, And I started praying, you know, that whatever this lady was doing to stop. Because I was scared. I was really scared. You know what it is? You wake up in the middle of the night in the dark and all you see is an ugly face looking at you. It was horrible, you know? But, how you call it? But, today I say, I don't believe in all that stuff, And for people who has happened things strange like this, I just put God up front, please. Because a lot of weird things happens in life. So I just wanted to make a horror video. Hey, I should make another one of another thing that happened to us. Okay, but I gotta rest my hand because I got my hand holding the camera upwards, and I got the other, how you call it, the flashlight pointing to that side. So I'm kind of tired. I'll probably do one later. So I hope you like the story. It was a true story, by the way. It was no fake story. It was a true story. But my family knows about this story, but how you call it? I never had told it through YouTube because since I do mainly garden, but I thought it was fun to do something a little spooky. It's no light. I can't go into my computer. I can't do nothing, and I'm getting bored here. So I thought I'd just, I don't know, tell you a nice story. I hope you liked it. So God bless you all. Bye.